Hey Guru Nation, welcome back to the clinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you very much. So this video is going to be quick. I did a much longer, like 30-minute podcast on it earlier today, but it came from one of the viewer questions through text. So they sent me a text, 949-415-6256, which, by the way, anyone can do. All right, so you can just text me there. You can even call me there if you want, or follow me on all the social networks. So basically, the question was, I'm new to clinical research. I've just been hired. I'm in business development. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of conferences out there. Which ones should I go to? And this is like the Cliff Notes version of my 30-minute audio podcast, which you can go find on iTunes and Stitcher. And that episode's going to be out on Wednesday. So go check that one out on Wednesday on iTunes or Stitcher. But for today, the quick Cliff Notes version is you don't want to go to too many, all right? It's very easy, especially if you have an employer paying for you to go. Well, if your employer is paying for you to go to all of them, I guess you should go to all of them. After a while, the point of my podcast and the point of this video is you do reach a point of diminishing returns. So you go to conferences for two reasons: knowledge and networking, okay? If you're brand new to an industry, you want to get knowledge first before you ever start networking. If you don't know what you're talking about and you jump right into networking and you're trying to pitch that person something about your business or about your CRO or about your site, they're not going to take you seriously. So get the knowledge first. So these conferences are good for that occasionally. Now, if you've been in this industry at least 5 years or longer, you are probably going to have all the knowledge you're going to need to get by under any networking scenario. So I break it down like this. Try to go to one conference a quarter. Really take advantage of your investigator meetings. I mean, those are not conferences, but they are kind of like conferences in the sense that you can network with other people, and the knowledge you're gaining is knowledge related to that specific protocol. But when you can network with other sites that don't necessarily compete with you because they're located in different geographic areas, and principal investigators, business owners, they go and they network. And if you're just go as a backup coordinator, then you can get your expenses paid for and actually be a backup coordinator. Don't just go to hack the system. If there's a legitimate reason for you to go, either as a rater or a backup coordinator or whatever it may be, or maybe your coordinator's sick and you're going in their place, go, but also network with other sites. As far as the actual conferences, there's two kinds. Okay, there's the macro conferences that sort of talk about the industry in general, and they talk about what's currently trending in the industry right now. It's risk-based monitoring. It's also patient centricity. I'm not going to bore you with those things. I've done videos on them before. I've written articles on them before on the Clinical Scoop. Those are the macro conferences. Then there's micro niche conferences. As an example, I started out, and I'm still quite involved in central nervous system disorder studies. Every year, there's a CNS research conference called NCDO. So that's really good, and I've gotten studies from there. You go there, you network with the people from the pharma companies and the CRO companies that are looking for sites. They're looking to meet with representatives from sites. So that's a perfect way to go. Send your PI if you can. Go yourself if you can. Those are well worth it. Find the equivalent of NCDO for whatever therapeutic indication it is that your site is specializing in. And if you're not specializing in one, then pick one every quarter from the top four. Like get CNS, get diabetes, get maybe respiratory, and then maybe pain. Or just pick whatever four therapeutic indications that your site typically focuses on. And find a conference for those. Find a research conference, something similar to NCDO. Every medical condition will have something similar. Every therapeutic indication has a conference around it. Now, as a last little side note, and again, you can hear the whole thing on my podcast, if you're a CRA, I don't care if you're an experienced CRA that's been doing this for 10 years or longer, or if you're a wannabe CRA, someone that is hopeful to get a CRA position, you should be going to ACRP, Association of Clinical Research Professionals, and SOCRA, that's Society of Clinical Research Associates. They both have their annual conference. Those are good. But what's even better is every major metro area has a local chapter for the ACRP and SOCRA that you can attend. And I don't even think those cost anything. So just go to SOCRA website, go to ACRP, go network at your local chapter meetups. Because guess what? 80% of jobs are never advertised for. I just interviewed Jenny from Bench to Clinical. You can see that interview on YouTube or listen to it on the podcast. 80% of jobs are never advertised for. It's who you know. So network and knowledge, those are the two reasons you should go to conferences. It's certainly easy to go to too many. They do reach a point of diminishing returns. At that point, just go more for the networking rather than the knowledge. But when something new comes out, like a new buzzword that you don't understand, like risk-based monitoring or maybe patient centricity, then you should go check out some of these conferences. They all have websites. You can look at what the topics will be, who's going to be presenting. And then you can Google some of those terms and see if it's worth your while to go. And then niche down, find the conferences revolving around research for your therapeutic indications that your research company conducts. And then SOCRA and ACRP for you future or current CRAs. All right. Thank you all for watching. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.